And they reached their first checkpoint, I believe, and then they reached this mountain pass. And a lot of this stuff is speculation, but it's believed they reached the foot of this mountain, and everything's snow. There's nothing. It's like this wide open snowy canvas, and there's this huge mountain that's covered in snow, and there's a storm coming, and it was late enough in the day where they either had to sprint basically to get up and over the ridge to be safe on the other side, or they had to wait for the next day for the storm to pass. Because if they began going up this mountain, where they did need to go eventually, and the storm hit or it got too dark, they'd be completely like wide open. There's no trees, there's nothing stopping them. Like, you never want to be on an open face of a mountain in the middle of a storm. And so they believe that the group, remember, these are highly skilled hikers. These are like the best. They decided to make the journey up this mountain, and they stopped halfway. They picked the most exposed spot ever. And so the assumption is they gambled wrong, they had nowhere to go, and so they pitched their camp, these little crappy tents, in the middle of this mountain, and they weathered the most horrific snowstorm ever. But at some point in the middle of the snowstorm, the hikers were broken up into, I think, 3 different tents. They cut their tents open from the inside, and they left like 75% of their clothes folded neatly inside of their tents. And then they walked out of their tent in a group, almost in a line, and they walked down the mountain where there was this gaggle of trees. And we don't know what they did down there, but 3 of their bodies were found up in the trees, like naked and like up on the tree. And there were all these scratch marks on the base of the tree to indicate like they had maybe even tried to go up in this tree to hide from something that was trying to attack them. Then the footsteps continued about a half mile down, like parallel with the mountain, to this cave where they found the rest of the hikers, and all of them were deceased. But the ones in the cave, they had exchanged clothing. So like the men were wearing the women's clothes, women were wearing the men's clothes, and several of them had pieces of their face. They looked like they had been bitten off, like lips, nose, ears, and some of them were radioactive, like their skin was radioactive, their clothes were radioactive, and so they're all dead.